can one's career affect his or her ability to have children?
The environment is putting a lot of untold hardship on our reproductive system. I've experienced these from patients coming from the Niger Delta area, where there's a lot of oil exploration. Some of the studies showed a complete deterioration of their fertility profile. All the fertility signals were compromised due to exposure to a crude oil extract. The issue is so bad that even if they're not working at the rig and they're in the office, because those who come from the rig into the office, either they breathe what they've stored into the lungs into them, they see this danger and it affects them. And I have a wife. This woman does not work in the oil rig. She is a housewife. But the minute the husband comes home, she also noticed that there is a difference in the home environment. And when we did all the bioenergetic testings, we find that she too had all these fuel forces, that is damage of fuel deposit or crude oil deposit in her lungs. And next to that, people who work in the paint industry, people who work in the petrochemical industries, people who work in, my recent patient works in a detergent company, and evaluation showed no sperm. So the detergents, those chemicals, have been able to go far into the sperm production axis and arrest spermatogenesis. The lifestyle of a grandmother can affect the reproductive function of the granddaughter.
How so?
How so? Is that while a woman is pregnant, if she's exposed to some toxins like pesticides, it may not compromise the fertility of the baby, of the girl inside her, but the girl to be born by the baby inside her. I.e., environmental toxins can go 2 generations or 3.
Are there natural ways to treat infertility?
Absolutely. And if you summarize it, is that you are what you eat. If you eat well and if you eat clean, you'll be fine. And we have shown that many of the reproductive hazards, a high proportion, are in what we eat. Is it alcohol? Is it smoking that causes severe depletion of the sperm? Those who smoke should understand that. Or drink. It depletes the sperm significantly. Next to that, in terms of what you eat, fruits, for example, the recommendation is that fruits is good for you, but not in excess. It's in very small moderation that we can process. And when we take it in the night, we can't process it because our digestive system is going to sleep. Another one was people who think they're eating healthy, they don't take sugar, and they're using artificial sweeteners. These have been found to be laced to contain various chemicals which will cause spermatogenic arrest. So they end up having low sperm or no sperm at all.
What are the psychological effects of infertility on couples?
Now, psychological facts or effect of infertility is of serious dimension. That is why, as of today, and starting from next year, infertility is now in the front burner of United Nations and WHO. As a result of this, infertility is now regarded as a human rights issue. That every country must provide infrastructure to help people who require or who are seeking to have babies. And this human rights issue is also both for the man and for the woman. So the dimensions are very right. Now, why did they say so? Infertility could lead to depression, anxiety, loss of self-pride, loss of self-awareness, and the last but not the least is suicide. A number of people have committed suicide because of infertility. So I think those were the issues that was looked at, and the World Initiative said, no, we must provide help.
And how important is one's state of mind in the process of treatment? I ask because there are instances when a couple who have been infertile suddenly get pregnant after adopting a baby. How do you explain that?
Very, very simple. There are a few hormones that are related to stress. Prolactin is one of them, and so is serotonin. The people who are newly married and they're living with their in-laws. And of course, the baby is not coming. And they relocate and they have their own house. And within 3 months, there is conception. There are people who, like you said, which I have always advised to some people, when they adopt, then they are realized, even while they were expecting the adopted baby, they get pregnant. Because if you look at the level of tension in our own environment, it is significant. So when they distress, the system picks up, because this whole process has a control from the brain to the pituitary, to the thyroid gland, adrenal gland, and the gametes, that is the sperm and the ovary. They are all controlled by that axis.
You know, Prof, currently fertility treatment options and programs are only available through private health sectors, with little or no treatment available through the public health sectors. The fertility treatment options offered through the private clinics are often costly and not easily accessible. How can we get a standard procedure of care which could be easily implementable for a low cost, as basic intervention?
It's just that we're not being focused on what we want to do and the challenges. And if government can help in that area, the institutions will be better. But the way to do it now is that those institutions, the expertise are now outside. The best IVFs now are outside in private practice. So what government needs to do is to now do a marriage between the public and the private and let them help them properly. We should have a 5 years or 10 years development plan for health. And they should decide that in 2 years' time, nobody should travel abroad for this type of disorder, maybe cardiac transplant. In the next 2 years, renal transplant. When a governor or a president or somebody is traveling abroad for a health care, by now, see, General Babangida went abroad for radiculopathy. If it was here that it was done, we'll have a good center for spinal center in Nigeria. When General Gawan's wife was going to deliver the first premature baby, and it happened to be, they ordered incubators, baby incubators, and they brought it to Luth in less than 24 hours. That was what started the neonatal unit in Luth, in Faisal of Saudi Arabia. Had renal problem and needed renal dialysis. He ordered 2 machines. He put one in the palace, and the second was in the university. And he brought experts to teach the 2 people. So when he died, now they have a good renal dialysis unit in Saudi. These are the ways we have to think. When we think that, and we will be sure of what Nigerians are doing for us, the approach will be different, and the empathy will be different. From a white man who just, what does this black man want here?
Professor Oladapo Ashiru, we thank you for your time.
It's a pleasure.
And we thank you for watching. Please join us next time when View from the Top returns. But between now and then, let's continue the conversation online at channelstv.com. And tweet me your thoughts, please, at ModeleSY. Thank you again for watching, and see you next time.